Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. Hello, you guys. This is definitely like a whole new look for the podcast this week. I don't know how many episodes I'm going to go ahead and get completed in this like car ride type of podcast. But we're going to see how this goes. And yeah, I just really wanted to, make sure I still pod for you all. Just because, if you don't know already, I am in the process of moving. So yeah, in and of itself, that is just so stressful. And you really don't know, like, if you'll have enough time to do something else or do anything that you want to do. So as I'm driving, I'm trying to make sure that I'm still finding time. And I just feel like, I have like a heavy like feeling on my chest, and I just want to talk to you guys. I just want to talk to my people, and really it's just me talking to myself. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get the lighting, kind of okay also. But hopefully you guys can hear me well. I knew exactly where I put my mics, so I'm leaving our house now and I'm leaving our community now. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to pod while I'm driving. And I wanted to pod on my way down, but my mics were already at our new place. So I was like, I can't pod, on the way down. I have to wait, which is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, I just have like a heavy, weight on my chest today. And I'm like, I need to talk this off. And, sometimes you can't always talk to, other people when you're not feeling good or when you're, not in the right headspace. And, I called my husband and we talked a little bit, and he, explained that I do need to work on expressing my feelings. You guys, there are so many times where I just do not express my feelings because I wasn't I wasn't raised that way. Like when we were growing up, when I was growing up, you're like a child's emotions didn't really matter. It was like, what's right, what's wrong, and, punishment after that. So I feel like a lot of black families or a lot of black females or children or whatever can kind of attest to that. And it's just so freaking like, I don't know, it's hard because when you grow up you don't know how to get out of that. And so now you're trying to find, I don't want to say like a coping mechanism, but you just automatically shut down when you feel like you're, oops. I put my totes back there for the house because we got a few more things to pack. So hopefully that's the only time it'll fall and do all that ruckus. But anyway, sometimes you just grow up and you don't grow out of that. And so that becomes, a communicating barrier for you and, those around you. Like, yes, I could express my feelings all day to my partner, and that's amazing. But if you are not like that with your partner and you shut down and cannot express your feelings even to your partner, that can really bring some issues and, just some difficulty when it comes to trying to have your partner understand you, because all we want in this life is to be understood and treated right. And so when we have these things that we haven't healed from when we're children, it carries on into the relationships that we have and that we conjure, in our adulthood. And so if you don't recognize that this is, something that you haven't healed from and haven't made it through, it can really hinder your growth with people. And so I'm really glad that I've trust my, husband. I always want to say fiance lately, just because, everybody doesn't know that we're married. But where is that taking me? I'm not going down there. I don't even know what that is. We just gonna keep on straight. I'm trying to use my car navigation because, I'm using my, I should have brought my content creation phone, but I didn't. So that's completely my fault. I should have brought it, but I didn't think I would find my mic as soon as I did. But anyway, if you don't recognize some of the things that you have not healed from your childhood, it could definitely manifest and fester and grow into something completely bigger, and morph into something different, right? Like there's a lot of times I have a episode on resentment, and really resentment is the things that you don't resolve with somebody, and so just any and everything that they do after that just kind of piles on. And so you may feel like everything that this person is doing is just so freaking annoying, but really it's just stemming from one thing. And so that's what, not healing from your trauma as a kid, or not healing from certain things that you were not able to do or did not have the capabilities of doing when you were a child, can happen in your adulthood. It can like fester and morph into something completely different. I am so sorry. I don't know. I'm just like I don't want to say I'm so unprepared, but honestly, like, I just wanted to turn the camera on and record for you guys. And that's literally what I did. I didn't put on any type of, motion. The, what is it? The motion stabilization on my phone, any of that. Like, I was like, I'm just trying to make sure they can hear me clearly with my mics and that my camera is on. And so that's what's happening. So anyway, like I said, yeah, I just have like a heavy heart right now, and I really just feel like, I don't know. I don't even know. I just need to talk it out. And I always say, if you don't know what is wrong, or you feel like you can't get out of the the stunk that you're in, whatever, then to just talk it out somewhere where it's just you. Just you. You don't have to worry about, anybody misunderstanding you. You don't have to worry about anybody else, fully comprehending what you're talking about, or, understanding where you're coming from. It's honestly just you and yourself. And most of the time, when you talk stuff out, when you write in your journal and get the stuff off of your chest that you need to get off, even if you don't know what it is, 9 times out of 10, you're going to leave the situation better than how you came to it. Or you're going to leave your book, your recording, whatever, better than how you first started. So hopefully at the end of this episode, I really hope that, I keep this episode and post it, because sometimes if I don't feel like I'm not doing like a good enough job in my episode, I really just cut it and then scratch it and never post it. It never sees the lights of day. But honestly, I don't know. I really feel like this is clear cut, the most authentic. Well, y'all know I try to be authentic in I don't even try. I am authentic in every single episode. But this episode specifically, you are seeing like raw footage of me like trying to run around and do stuff, pregnant, trying to make sure like I'm doing stuff to make sure everything else goes according to plan, because my husband is at work. So I took off today to try to, nip some other things in the bud, so that way our weekend, while we're moving the big stuff, is more seamless. But we'll see, y'all. We will see. But anyway, how are you all doing? I hope you guys are having a fantastic November thus far. I hope you guys are staying on track to the goals that you wanted to accomplish in November, and really for the rest of the year, because we literally have all of November, December, and then we are in 2026. It really does feel like it went by so freaking quickly. So freaking quickly. But nonetheless, time waits for no one. And so if you are not doing what you need to be doing with your time, it is going to pass you by. Okay? But yes, I hope you all are doing great. If you're not, I hope you feel, just a little bit better by sitting here, watching me go through all this hecticness with, driving and trying to pay attention to my surroundings, as well as talking to you all. And then, just seeing me coming out of, a little stump of, I don't even know what I'm feeling. Irritation, aggravation, frustration, like whatever it is that I'm feeling. I feel like it's a mixture between all of those. And hopefully when I get done talking, like all of it's gone. But I don't know. So I'm moving back to my hometown. I think I told you all that I really did not have any intention on moving back unless my husband and I found like what both of us wanted in a property, as well as price. Like price is always like money is always going to be the last deciding factor. It don't matter what you want, what you feel like you need, what you feel like it are the essentials. It's always going to come down to price and what you are willing to pay for what you are getting. And so we found an amazing 5-bed, 3-bath for a very great price compared to all of the other homes and all of the other, existing or new construction, because we bought new construction. That's another blessing. We were able to find new construction at a great price with these rooms. And it was like we were looking at 4-bed, 2 bath, 3-bed, 2 bath, 2.5 bath, whatever, for almost 500,000, and this house is nowhere close to that, and it's 5-bed, 3-bath. So it really came out on top with this property, because my thing is, I don't like to feel cramped. I don't like to feel on top of each other. If I feel like we're on top of each other, we don't have enough space. We do not have enough space. We do not have enough space. I need to be able to go in a completely different room if I don't want to be, right where you are, and be able to live my life where I am without the, disturbance of somebody else. I don't know. Like, it is really important that you always have your own space in your home. That way you're not always in somebody else's area. Somebody's always in your space. Like, I don't care how good you and your fiance, boyfriend, husband, I don't care how good of a relationship you have, it is going to dwindle if you guys do not have your separate activities that you guys do alone. I cannot stress that enough. If you are always in your significant other's breathing space, you are literally making your relationship the other person, or making your identity the relationship and the other person. You must have independence within your relationship. Everything I do and say is not because, oh my goodness, my husband is going to love this. That is not the case. I do things because I want to. I genuinely want to. And he may do things that I don't want to do because he genuinely wants to. But when you are sacrificing the things that you love doing because you are with somebody, you are losing your independence. You are losing your uniqueness in the relationship. Okay? So I feel like I'm all over the place in this episode because I was thinking about something this morning and I really wanted to talk about it, which I'm still going to talk about it, but I just feel like y'all are going to get a lot of other, pieces. Like, see, this is the stuff that you're going to get while, driving. People not paying attention and y'all going to hear me honk. Like, dude was literally merging into my lane, no blinker, and I'm right there. Like, how do you not even see me? I'm so confused. Anyway, but I was thinking about a topic that I wanted to talk about when I was, thinking this morning when I woke up. And I was just thinking about how when somebody loves you and knows what they want, they are not going to play about you. They are not going to waste time, because just where I am in my relationship and where we are in our life right now, we are 25. He just turned 25. We closed on his birthday. Like, that is such a blessing and a privilege to have, to be able to say we are 25 years old. We're first time home buyers, homeowners, right? We have a baby on the way. We're married. We are literally doing the damn thing. Like, we both have stable jobs, stable income. Like, we don't have any, like, problems. Like, I really can't say when the last time, like, we had a disagreement. And even when you guys are having a disagreement, it's not you against that person. It's you and that person, probably against, a specific viewpoint or whatever. But our arguments have dwindled over the years. And sorry that the lighting is going to go in and out. Obviously, as I'm driving, the position of the sun is going to be different. So, so I just feel like not a lot of 25-year-olds can say that they're in a committed relationship, right? Just the bare minimum in a committed relationship, seeing one person. And I'm not saying that, going around dating other people, exploring is bad. I'm just saying not a lot of people my age can say that they're in a committed relationship with somebody that they trust, with somebody that they want to raise their children, because that was the biggest thing to me, not creating a broken home. If us women, we have the option. We have anybody in this life, in this life has the option to choose who their father to their children are going to be and who the mother to their children are going to be. And so if you decide that you just going to willy-nilly do whatever out here and you have a mistake, you have a mistake, right? Like, I kid all the time, but I really feel like it's not like a joke whatsoever. Like, me and my siblings were all mistakes. I don't think there was one child that was actually planned for, right? And so, yes, they may have, had better decisions at a particular time or ended up with a better partner at a particular time. But I just feel like, since you have the option, since you have the low and hold decision to be with who you want to be with and choose the partner that you want to be with for the rest of your life, obviously y'all can divorce, but if I want to be so committed to somebody to marry them, I want to make sure that it's something that I want to do lifetime. So many people either don't take marriage seriously or they don't think that it's a real thing. And I've already had a conversation with you all on a different episode that marriage is very real. When it comes to life or death situations, if you are not the spouse to whoever is in, the life or death situation, your say, your input into how their life care ends up, or how their life ends up looking like after the hospital, after they're hospitalized, or whether they're on, a ventilator and it's a decision of whether to pull the plug or leave them on. If you are not the spouse, you do not get to make that decision. So if you want to keep your significant other living and not pull the plug, if you are not married, that decision falls to their kin, their family, their actual family, because you are not married in. So there's a lot of benefits to being married, and just being able to say, I take this seriously enough to commit myself to one person for the rest of my life, however that works. But I say all this to say, there's a lot of people out here that can't say that they're in committed relationships, that can't say they have a great outlook on wanting to be married, because the dating pool sucks. So just being able to have somebody that's committed to me, and that somebody who doesn't play about me, and we have not played about each other since we met in 2022, that is a blessing to say. That is a privilege that not everybody gets to have. And then on top of that, to say that we're married at this point at 25, who's really thinking about marriage for real? Especially in your 20s. Everybody likes to say, oh, you should worry about partying. You should worry about partying. Why not take your 20s to build a stable foundation? And yes, that does not mean, you can't go out and party and have fun and build a foundation. But when all you're doing is prioritizing going out, living life, and not worrying about your future whatsoever, and what it will look like and what it will become based on the actions and decisions that you are making today, that's when it's a problem. Okay, so anyway, not many people can say that they're in a committed relationship. Not too many people can say that they even have somebody that they're interested in looking into other things with, right? Not many people can say that they're married at 25, and not many people can say that they planned their child. Like, that is the number one thing that kind of meant a lot to me. But oh snap, sorry you guys, I'm trying to make sure this lighting or this exposure right here locks. There we go. And then I'm trying to make sure y'all can see me a little bit at least. But anyway, not many people can say that their child that they are currently pregnant with, or any children that they have had, have been planned with their partner. A lot of people get stuck in a sticky situation and cannot get out of it. And so they're stuck with the consequences of that action and of that choice. Whether you chose, to have a baby or not, the choice has been taken away in some states. And so if you are not in a state that your choice, that you can voice your opinion and make a choice to terminate the pregnancy, you went out there and slept with somebody that you do not see as a father figure, or did not want as a father to your children or a mother to your children, and now you're stuck with that consequence. Now that person is going to be tied to you forever, whether that person is there or not, because you're always going to have to explain to that child where their father is, or who their father is, or why they're not there, or etc., or vice versa. Some mothers can be deadbeats also. It's not just the men. So not many people can say that their children was planned. Not many people can say that, they're looking for a home, found a home, and bought their home, purchased their home, closed on their home within 36 days. You guys, I believe we started looking at this property, I want to say September 22nd, and we closed on October 28th. So, not many people can say they closed within 36 days. So it's just blessing on top of blessing. And so when I was thinking about it this morning, after waking up or whatever, I try to, kind of ponder on the situation and the point in life that I'm in and see what I want to accomplish next. But when I thought about it this morning, I literally thought to myself, look at what you were able to accomplish. Buying a home was the most scariest thing to me in my whole entire life. Like, since my adulthood, since moving out of my parents' house and all of the things, I have literally been scared to purchase a home. And it's because of all of the information that's out there, all of the misinformation that's out there. Every situation is person to person specific, because somebody else's situation and how their home buying process went is not going to be, exactly yours. Like, all of the things can happen so differently. And so just listening to one person's point of view or one person's viewpoint on how their experience went may not, fully help you. And so that could be scary. And then, just not have, like, everybody being in your corner for you to get to that point, but not really fully educating you on how that point is reached. I hope that makes sense. But I really feel like I told you all before, most of the time when you overthink, it's because you don't trust yourself in something. And because I've never dealt with a home buying process or anything like that, I was overthinking, or because I've learned how to stop overthinking, I was shutting down and redirecting my attention to something completely different because I didn't have all of the information. And so, yeah, like, honestly, my realtor, I feel like the trick to any home buying process is really finding a realtor that knows what they're talking about, that understands, the process from start to finish based on the type of loan that you want and that you are trying to apply for, approve for, and fund this house with. Because if they're not fluent in the type of loan that you are trying to acquire, it's going to be more stressful, because now both of you guys are trying to learn. When I am the newbie in this, I've never bought a house, I need somebody that's already an expert. And let me see if closing this, because I hate this little thing where you can't see anything in, like, literally. Nah, that kind of just made it worse. No, we're just going to leave that open. If you are listening to the audio, thank you for tuning in. But you are literally missing, like, everything that's going on right now, because I am literally in the car, if you didn't know, and I'm driving, if you haven't heard already, because I don't know how well these cancels sound out. But anyway, yeah, if I'm the newbie, I don't need another newbie going through this process with me. I need somebody that has been through this before and that can hold my hand and explain each step of the process when and if I need them to. My realtor, like, from our first call, before we were even serious about buying our house, which I'm not gonna say before we were serious, but before we were actively looking to purchase, because we had talked to her, or I had the initial call with her, like, months prior to me finding out I was pregnant. And then that's kind of what jump started us looking at homes and wanting to, buy a home before the baby gets here. Because, child, my baby will not know apartment life until they grow up and they go get their own apartment. My child will not know that lifestyle. They will only know what living in a house is like. And not a lot of people can say that either. So it's so, I don't know, like, just thinking about the situation I'm in and where I've, was, and how we got here, all I can do is smile. Sometimes I want to cry. All I can do is really thank God, for real, because honestly, none of this would be possible if he didn't bring the right people in my life when he did. There is a time, place and season for everybody. And sometimes you'll meet people in a season where they're not needed yet. And I'm not saying look for, what you can get out of people. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. But there are trades that people are good with and intelligent. There are specific areas of life that people are intelligent in where that may come in handy to you. So honestly, he's just filling your toolbox with people that can benefit you and you could benefit them in a way, because word of mouth is something big. So you may be thinking, okay, yeah, he placed a realtor in your life, but what can you do for the realtor that she can't do for herself? There's a lot of realtors out here making it and not making it. But somebody that just came through a home buying process, word of mouth is going to be so strong and so heavy. And so being able that I'm going to be able to, express, my situation, my experience with her and the process entirely, word of mouth is better sometimes than somebody going out there and trying to advertise for themselves. Because yes, you're going to paint yourself in a good light, but what are these other people going to say about you, right? So it's all about perspective. It's all about, your experience with somebody, how that can kind of trickle into that helping their business. Oh snap, what is all of this? But anyway, our first conversation, I just felt so, I'm not going to say like warmth, but I felt like a bit like it was a business transaction. But I was really understanding and getting to know her and how she was communicating with me. I really liked that. A lot of people that, kind of know your family or whatever, they'll try to talk to you as if, I don't know, y'all. Y'all know there's a difference between business and personal life. When somebody knows so much of your personal life, they can lack that professionalism that you need in somebody to get business done. This woman, my realtor, she knew a little bit of my personal life because she knew my parents, but it was more so, a little bit of bedside, manner with strictly business. And that's how I operate. I will ask you, how things are going, how's this person, what you got going on. But then when it's time to get to business, I'm like, okay, this is how, this is what's going on, this is what we need to do. And she was like that, and I've never met somebody else like that, and not a lot of realtors are like that. I had a call with somebody else, and she just went on about my personal life and how long she's known my parents and this, that, and that. I'm like, I don't need to know that. And she just went on and on and on. I'm like, at some point there is like a time limit on how much you divulge into somebody's personal life without bringing up business. Like, is this a personal call or a business call? Which one is it? But yeah, I liked her bedside manner with her professionalism and how she communicated and articulated herself. She walked me through she walked us, but mainly me, because I handle more so like the paperwork, the documents, the processes of things. And then my husband, he's more so, okay, the numbers guy. How much do we need? When do we need it? And what is it going towards? So yeah, after, we had that initial call, I found out I was pregnant. We were like, okay, I already know I want to go with her. Let's figure it out how we gonna make this work. So I mean, we made it work. She was really like on our time frame, not rushing us, all of the things. And so I just felt like anytime I had a question, I would just send it to her. I just sent it to her. Anytime somebody gave me a problem in the home buying process, I sent it to her, asked her if this is something that she handles as a realtor, because that's the other thing. Some realtors don't do the same thing other realtors do based on the tools that they have in their pocket. So the whole shebang, whatever. Moral of my thing is, the moral of this episode that I wanted it to be, I'm just all over the place, is the fact that somebody that doesn't play about you, somebody that knows what they want and doesn't want to waste any time because they are serious in what they want, they are going to make that known, and they are going to stick to the plan that they make. And men especially, to see a man plan something out, to see a man plan his life out with his significant other, it's just so beautiful. I love seeing it on TikTok whenever, these women post, my man said they was going to do this and this came into fruition. But I now have that story of my own. My husband said that he was going to marry me. Like, this is when we first met. He said he was going to marry me. He said he was going to give me a child at 25. He said we were going to buy a house, like all of the things. And so we're literally 25. I'm literally pregnant. We're married and we have a house. Like, what else could one want? And what else could one want out of a man that sees and plans his future with somebody that he does not play about? A man that plays about you is not serious. A man that thrives in keeping you in a state of confusion is not serious. If you have to question where you all stand and what your relationship is, it's not serious. It's not serious whatsoever. Like, I remember all the time trying to figure out, well, then what are we? Oh, why are you trying to put a label on it? Like, why couldn't we just can't vibe and this, that, and the third? If I had better standards for myself, because I felt like I did have standards, but I was wavered. I was iffy on them. But what I want to teach my child, regardless, boy or girl, when you have standards, stand on them standards very heavy, because that is what is going to, deteriorate, kind of move people out of the way. Like, it's either you mess with me and my standards and you respect me and my boundaries, or you don't and you're over to the left or the right, wherever the case may be, right? But to me, I just wanted the person that I wanted, and so my standards, I wavered my standards. I let my boundaries become preferences, and at no point were those boundaries truly preferences. I was just changing what I wanted to match what that other person wanted. But at the end of the day, I still left confused, and when I did stand firm on my standards, that person didn't want to fuck, sorry I cursed, but at this point I already did it. But that person didn't want to fuck with me. And that person was, oh, you're difficult, this, that, and third. People that cannot manipulate you or cannot get you to stray away from your boundaries for them are going to label you difficult. And somebody that is too hard to please or whatever. I will let you know. The right person, I think I told y'all this before, the right person and the right people that need to be in your life will not ask you, well, why is this, like, why are your standards this way? Like, change them. Like, I need these to be, be more suitable for me. The right people that's supposed to be in your life and around you are not going to say those things, are not going to ask those questions. They may ask why your standards are the way they are so that they could better understand you. But as far as trying to manipulate you into changing your standards to benefit them and seeing that as a detriment to you, they're not going to do that. They're not going to allow that to happen. They're going to ask, well, this is the bare minimum. Why would I go against your standard? Why would I do the opposite of this? It only makes sense. So that's the whole like shebang of this episode that I really wanted to like get out. But I know I took a lot of different avenues because I talked through my emotions. I talked through, where I am currently in life. And then if a man wants you, females, if a man wants you, he is going to plan out y'all's life. And from that date, keep in mind what he's telling you is going to happen. But a man that has no plan for his own life cannot make a plan for you. Okay? And I'm not saying every man is going to come to you with the plan already in sight. But at some point, we have to start taking into consideration what we want our futures to look like. And it starts now. The decision making starts now. It does not start, I'll settle down when I'm 30 or 40. At that point, you should be reaping the benefits of what you sowed, in your 20s. Why are we just, it's just too late in the game. It's too late in the game. It's too late in the game. Yes, you can find somebody that, that later on. But at that point, y'all probably already have a rooted foundation in who you are and how your lifestyle is, that it may be too difficult to give up. When you get to a certain age that it's like, okay, I've done this for so long, I'm not changing for anybody at this point now. And that's girl and man combined alike. Okay? So do with that what y'all will, y'all. Like, I literally just had to sit back and take a minute this morning and think. My man really told me he was going to get me pregnant at 25. At the time I was 22, he was 21. I was like, are you serious? Like, that's too early. That's too early. That's too early. Oh, we're going to get married. I see myself, you my wife. You going to be my wife. Oh, are you sure? When you going to marry me? What are you thinking? Before we have a kid? Oh, okay. I guess. We'll see. You know? So, I don't know. I want my, I picture myself, in a house with my family, this and that. I said, shit. How am I going to help? I'm too scared to think about buying a house. But look at where I am now. Married, pregnant at 25, like he said. And now we homeowners. Everything that he told me he was going to make happen has happened. And so that is the type of man that you don't have to worry about lying in your face or playing around. You don't have to worry about it because he's a man of his word. He told me he was going to do something and he did it. I don't have to worry about bums that, lie to other women's faces because mine told me the truth. And he don't play about me. That one does not play about me. Now he has a baby on the way. He not going to play about that baby either. So, yeah, you guys. But I don't, like I said, I don't know if I'll do another episode. I think I will because I do want to talk about, I do want to elaborate more on what I was thinking about in the beginning, but I do feel a lot lighter. And that's what I'm talking about. If you don't know what is wrong, if you don't know, if you want to talk through whatever you're feeling with somebody else, pull out your camera, pull out your voice recording, just talk. Pull out your journal, just write. And I promise you, something will feel alleviated from your shoulders. Your mood will change. Now, this morning, my husband did make me mad because he was trolling me. But I already knew that. And my pregnancy hormones, when I get mad, I'm just already upset. Like, I know you're intentionally trolling me, but I'm more so in a state of, okay, now I'm just mad and I'm finna curse you out. Okay? Now you playing with me. Now I know you're playing, but I'm annoyed that you're playing so freaking much. So it is what it is. But then I was already so mad. I was like, I know that you were playing, but I don't know why I'm like just upset like this. But it's literally the pregnancy. So it is what it is, y'all. But I am, let me see. I'm trying to see what I'm going to go do. I need to eat. I'm about to go back home. Probably sit down for a little bit, see what I'm going to pack in my truck for another round later on today. I'm probably going to see if my couch has been delivered because my husband did let me buy a new couch for our living room. I'm so freaking excited. And then let me see. Probably just going to rest and chill for the rest of the day. I'm going to walk the dogs in a little bit and then go on about my day. So, yeah, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I don't know if I'll do another episode today. I hope I do. Because like I said, I do want to elaborate on what I was feeling on earlier as far as expressing emotions and building confidence in that. But I guess the message and the confidence that I want, females and guys alike to build from this episode is being confident in starting early, being confident in finding your person, and women specifically, find your confidence in letting a man lead. Now, I'm not saying just let any old man lead you anywhere because a man without a plan, a man without a map, a man without navigation is just a lost person. And so a lost person will lose other people. So, take dating seriously. Stop being out here with people just for aesthetics, for looks. Like, genuinely get to know these people and if they have a freaking brain or if they have a rock for a brain, okay? Try to think if they have any critical thinking skills. Like, that is the number one thing that I love in my husband is his thinking, his way of thinking, and his mentality. There's way too many men, and I told him this morning when we were having a conversation, the kind of conversation we were having, there's way too many guys that I was growing up with that because I was a female, they did not want to listen to me. other, like, men only want to listen to other men, and it just sucks because you can see another man give idiotic advice, and because he's a guy, the other guy's going to take his advice. That was some dumb ass advice from a dumb ass nigga. And you sitting up here taking it because he's the same sex as you. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So women, build the confidence if a man shows you, okay? Because we're not out here blindly following people that are lost. He ain't gonna lead us nowhere but to a damn ditch, and all of us gonna be lost. But build the confidence in understanding or trying to understand if a man can lead, okay? Because he has to have that capability, and if he doesn't, it's time to go. Or is that something you gonna take? I don't want to always have, I don't always want to be the leader. That's the man's job. I want to be able to lead in certain areas of our life that I should lead, and then there's other parts of my life that a man should lead, and I want him to do that. And all of this he's done, and he's told me, and he's been truthful, and he stayed truthful to what he told me he was gonna do. Okay, men, get some confidence in learning how to lead, and get some confidence in learning how to listen to women. I feel like men really think that listening to women is, sissy tendencies, like B-word made activities. Females are statistically smarter than men. Majority of the 9 times out of 10. Oh snap! They almost got in a wreck. But 9 times out of 10, the woman is always smarter than a man. So it's not weakness if you listen to a female. Most of the time, a man can be better off in life listening to a female than rather another man. So gain confidence in listening to females. Gain confidence in not only listening to females, but trying to comprehend females. Because I feel like it gets to a point where men try to please other men based on what they're doing in life, rather than trying to do what they need to do to build a foundation for their woman, to build a foundation for the life that they want to build with a woman. So everybody just gain confidence in the other gender and find somebody that you can uphold that trust in, because we don't want to put our trust in any willy-nilly anybody, right? Like, that person has to gain or does earn, that person has to earn your trust. That person has to gain and uphold and fulfill what your ideology is of that other gender, or what you think that other gender should do. Let's stop blindly out here just dating people. Let's stop blindly out here just dating people that, we think we would look good with. Why are we dating? Are we dating to look good with somebody, or are we dating with purpose? Are we dating to marry? Why are you dating? Ask yourself that first. Why are you dating? Are you dating just to, have somebody to be on your arm because you don't like, being alone? Are you really dating somebody because you want to build a life with somebody? We have to ask these questions because they're really important. They're really going to shape, who you are as a person and why you're with the person that you're with. Because you can see a lot of times in different relationships, oh, that person is only with her because she looks a certain way. Or that person is with her not only because she looks that way, but because they genuinely find her attractive and, any of the other qualities that she may have. Oh, look, my apartment complex has a little going on, a little food truck situation. But anyway, you guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for just being my listening ear. I know I just talked y'all ears off, but hopefully it wasn't too bad watching. If you did tune into the visual, thank you so much for being here with me, because I definitely wanted to give you all an episode, but I didn't want to leave y'all all hanging, my visual watchers, with just an audio podcast, episode. I was like, what can I do to still give them visual as well? So yeah, you guys, I'm about to go ahead and park my truck, go upstairs, eat a little bit, walk the dogs, and then probably go to this furniture spot to see if my furniture is here. If not, I'm just gonna I'm just going to pay my furniture off. That way, once it gets here, I don't have to do anything in store. They can just bring it straight to me. I can schedule it for delivery. But yeah, you guys, we're going to have a busy, busy weekend. So I hope you all's week this November goes well. And, still comment anything that you want to hear or talk about in another episode. I am always here. I always want to hear what you all want to hear about. And, if I've lived through it, I'll talk to it. And if I haven't, let's do some brainstorming together. But this is a community. I never want you guys to feel alone. So if you do feel alone, why? Let's change that. This is what you found this page for, okay? But we'll see how, the next couple weeks come, because I don't know how my setup is going to be. It's going to be a lot of time to get settled in this house, but I am trying my hardest, and I'm going to still try my darndest, whatever. I'm still going to try my hardest to, bring you all visual episodes weekly. I really hope I don't have to take, any time off, but if I have to, I'll definitely let you guys know on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's prettyconfident.pod. That's my Instagram and TikTok. If you're listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, or iHeartRadio, thank you for being a part of the audio family. And if you are watching this on YouTube, clock that, okay? Thank you so much for being here. But I'm going to go ahead and jet because it's already 12 o'clock my time. So I need to get things going because I have literally been up since 6 something. But yeah, you guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully I will be bringing you another episode next week. Okay? Bye. Love you. Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.